Listen to me. The greatest battle you will ever face is not leading other people. It's not trying to build an empire. It's not trying to lead a company, a family, or a movement. The greatest battle you will ever face is leading yourself. I need you to get this in your spirit. You can't lead anybody else until you learn to lead yourself. That's the first key to leadership in 2025. See, most people out here are trying to look like a leader before they've even earned the right to lead. They want the respect, they want the title, they want people to follow them, but they can't even get themselves out of bed when they said they would. They can't even keep the promises they made to themselves. They want to lead a team, but they can't lead their own habits. They want to lead a movement, but they can't lead their own mouth, their own emotions, their own discipline. Let me tell you something. Leadership starts in the mirror. Leadership starts when nobody's looking. You want to know if you're a real leader? Ask yourself, what do I do when no one's holding me accountable? Do I still grind when the cameras are off? Do I still show up when nobody's clapping? Do I still push when nobody's watching? Because that's where real leadership is built. Everybody wants to lead when it's convenient. Everybody wants to lead when they feel good. Everybody wants to lead when the money is flowing and the conditions are perfect. But what happens when you don't feel like it? What happens when life punches you in the mouth? What happens when you're exhausted, when you're discouraged, when nobody believes in you? That's when you find out if you can lead you. I need you to understand this. You are your first follower. You are your first disciple. You can't sell a vision you haven't bought into yourself. You can't ask other people to be disciplined when you're still negotiating with your own laziness. You can't ask your team to be accountable when you're still making excuses. You want to lead. Lead yourself to the gym when you don't feel like it. Lead yourself to the desk when it's uncomfortable. Lead yourself to the grind when you'd rather sleep. Lead yourself to growth when you're tired of learning. Lead yourself to push when you're ready to quit. That's leadership. In 2025, the people who rise, the people who dominate, the people who change the game, they are going to be the ones who have mastered the art of leading themselves first. I'm talking about self-discipline, self-control, self-motivation. I'm talking about setting your own standards so high that even when nobody's pushing you, you're still running. Even when nobody's watching, you're still delivering. Even when nobody believes, you're still moving. And here's the thing. When you start leading yourself, people will see it. You don't have to beg for respect. You don't have to scream for attention. They will follow the consistency. They will follow the example. They will follow the fire they see in you, because leadership isn't about position, it's about influence, and the first person you have to influence is you. Stop chasing titles. Stop waiting for permission. Stop thinking leadership is something that's going to magically come to you one day. Leadership is something you choose every day when you decide to lead your own life with integrity, with consistency, with discipline. Let's go. Lead yourself first. Show up, lock in, do the work, stay faithful to your grind, because if you can't lead you, you're not ready to lead anybody else. Listen to me carefully. If you want to be a leader in 2025, you can't just be good at working. You've got to be relentless in your communication, because here's the truth. Leadership isn't just about what you do. It's about what you can help other people see, feel, and believe. If you can't move people with your words, you'll never move them with your actions. You can work hard all day long, but if you can't communicate your vision, your team won't follow you. Your family won't trust you. Your mission won't spread. Leaders don't just speak to inform. They speak to transform. You've got to get to a place where your words carry weight. When you speak, people need to stop scrolling. When you talk, people need to sit up. When you open your mouth, people need to feel something deep inside. Your voice should wake people up. But here's the problem. Most people don't understand that communication is a skill, not a gift. It's something you build, not something you're born with. If you want to lead in 2025, you have to work on it every single day. You have to train your voice, your message, your delivery. You have to learn how to tell your story in a way that makes people pay attention. You've got to develop the courage to speak the truth even when your voice shakes. You've got to practice how to listen just as hard as you talk. You can't dominate if you're just talking at people. You've got to connect with people, and I'm not just talking about standing on a stage. I'm talking about how you speak to your team in a meeting. I'm talking about how you talk to your family at the dinner table. I'm talking about how you communicate over text, over the phone, face to face. Every interaction is leadership. Every conversation is influence. You've got to stop being lazy with your words. Stop mumbling. Stop playing small. Stop saying, "Oh, that's just how I talk." No, you need to develop your communication skills until you can break through distractions. You need to develop them until you can speak life into dead situations. You need to develop them until you can stand in front of people who don't believe in you and still make them think twice. You can't afford to speak weak. You can't afford to speak unsure. You can't afford to speak halfway. Leaders in 2025 speak with urgency. They speak with passion. They speak with precision. They speak with clarity. You've got to be so clear about your mission that when you speak, people know exactly where you're going, exactly why you're going, and exactly how you're getting there. But wait, it's not just about speaking. You've got to master the art of listening, because leadership isn't just telling people what to do, it's understanding what they need. It's knowing their pain points. It's hearing their frustration. It's feeling their struggle. People don't follow leaders who talk over them. People follow leaders who hear them. So I'm challenging you, every day, sharpen your communication skills, read books, watch speakers, practice storytelling. Practice active listening. Practice asking the right questions, record yourself, watch yourself, push yourself, never get comfortable, never think you've arrived. Because in 2025, if you can't communicate, you can't lead. If you can't connect, you can't lead. If you can't cast vision, you can't lead, period. Your words can build, your words can break. Your words can inspire, your words can crush. Your words can lead people into battle or leave them stuck in fear. So choose wisely, speak boldly, communicate relentlessly. You're not just leading with your grind, you're leading with your words. Make sure your words are so sharp, so strong, so consistent, that people can't help but follow you. Let's go. Keep grinding. Keep speaking. Keep leading. Listen to me. If you want to lead in 2025, you've got to understand this. It's not about how much you can lift in the gym. It's not about how loud you can get in a meeting. It's not about how many people follow you on social media. It's about how well you can control what's going on inside of you, because leadership is not just about power. It's not just about strategy. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about how well you can lead yourself in moments of pressure, pain, and frustration. It's about what happens when life doesn't go your way. Let me ask you something. Can you lead when your plans fall apart? Can you lead when the people closest to you let you down? Can you lead when life throws you curveballs and you feel like quitting? Because here's the truth. Storms are coming. Pressure is coming. Disrespect is coming. People are going to doubt you. People are going to test you. People are going to frustrate you. What are you going to do? Are you going to lose your temper? Are you going to lash out? Are you going to break down? Or are you going to step up with emotional strength and maturity? Leaders in 2025 aren't going to be the ones who can bench press the most. They're going to be the ones who can stay calm in the middle of chaos. They're going to be the ones who can control their mouth, their emotions, their thoughts when life gets heavy. You've got to get to a place where you're not just reacting to life. You're responding with wisdom. You're not just popping off at people when you're angry. You're not just quitting when you're tired. You're not just folding when you feel pressure. You're steady. You're grounded. You're solid. Emotional intelligence is about understanding your triggers. It's about recognizing when you're about to explode and stepping back instead of stepping into a disaster. It's about not letting your emotions hijack your leadership. Because listen, when you can't control your emotions, you lose credibility. Nobody's following a leader who's unpredictable. Nobody's trusting a leader who can't manage their own energy. You've got to stop saying, "That's just how I am." No, it's not. That's how you've allowed yourself to be. It's time to grow up. It's time to develop emotional maturity. It's time to stop making excuses and start making adjustments. Leaders in 2025 aren't just smart. They're emotionally smart. They know how to de-escalate conflict. They know how to speak life when other people speak death. They know how to hold their peace when everything inside them is screaming. That's what separates the real leaders from the pretenders. You've got to train yourself. You've got to become aware of how you process anger, frustration, disappointment, and even success. Because success can trip you up too. You start winning and suddenly you get cocky. Suddenly you stop listening. Suddenly you get lazy. Emotional intelligence will keep you humble. It will keep you locked in. Start practicing it daily. Start recognizing when you're overreacting. Start pausing before you respond. Start breathing before you break. Start asking yourself, what's really going on inside me right now? Learn how to process what you're feeling before you put it on somebody else. You want to be a leader. You've got to be a thermostat, not a thermometer. You can't just reflect the room, you've got to set the temperature. You've got to bring peace when there's chaos. You've got to bring focus when there's confusion. You've got to bring calm when there's panic. That's leadership. That's emotional intelligence. Because hear me, people are watching you, not just when you win, but when you struggle. They're watching how you handle pressure. They're watching how you handle disrespect. They're watching how you handle setbacks. And if you can master your emotions, you can master your leadership. If you can stay steady, you can lead people through anything. So don't just chase power, chase emotional strength. Don't just chase success, chase wisdom. Don't just chase the grind, chase growth. Let's go. Stay steady, stay sharp, stay emotionally strong. Let me keep it real with you. There are two kinds of people in this world. People who bring problems and people who bring solutions. If you want to step into leadership in 2025, you've got to stop showing up with more problems. You've got to stop being the person who always talks about what's wrong, but never steps up to make it right. The world is full of complainers. The world is full of people who can tell you why something is broken. That's easy, that's basic. Anybody can find fault. Anybody can talk about what's not working. But leaders bring answers, leaders bring action, leaders bring solutions. Stop waiting for somebody else to fix it. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Stop waiting for somebody to give you permission. If you see the problem, you are the solution. You are the one. If it's broken, you fix it. If the system is failing, you lead it to change. If the team is falling apart, you step up and pull it back together. That's leadership. You can't afford to keep walking into the room, pointing fingers and thinking that's leadership. You can't keep being the person who says, "We've got a problem," and then sits down. No, be the one who stands up and says, "I've got a solution." Be the one who says, "I'll take the lead." Be the one who says, "I'm not afraid of this challenge. I'm not afraid of this fire. I'm not afraid of this pressure." Because leaders in 2025 are not running from the fire, they're running toward it. Let me tell you something. Leadership is not about waiting for the easy stuff. Leadership is not about being visible when things are smooth. Leadership is earned in the trenches. It's earned when you volunteer for the hard problems. It's earned when you lean into the uncomfortable conversations. It's earned when you become the anchor in the middle of a storm. Be the problem solver, be the stabilizer, be the one people can depend on. You know what real leadership is. Real leadership is when people feel safe because you're in the room. Real leadership is when people believe there's a way forward because you showed up. Real leadership is when people come to you when it's tough, not because you know everything, but because you're willing to face anything. Stop thinking you've got to have all the answers before you step up. No, leaders don't always know the solution immediately, but they know how to chase it. They know how to think. They know how to research. They know how to ask the right questions. They know how to pull people together and work it out. You've got to develop a mindset that says, if nobody else fixes it, I will. You've got to develop a mindset that says, when I walk into the room gets better. You've got to develop a mindset that says, I refuse to make excuses. I make progress. And let me warn you, problem solvers don't always get celebrated. Sometimes you'll step in, solve the issue, and nobody will clap for you. Sometimes you'll fix something, and people will act like it was always supposed to be that way. That's okay. You're not doing it for applause. You're doing it because that's who you are. You're doing it because you refuse to leave things broken. In 2025, leaders are going to be in short supply. The world is going to get more complex. The pressure is going to get heavier. The speed is going to get faster. You've got to decide right now that you will be the person who solves, not stalls. That you will be the person who steps in, not steps back. That you will be the person who pushes forward, not runs away. Your leadership is proven by the problems you solve. Your impact is measured by the burdens you're willing to carry. Your growth is driven by the obstacles you choose to face. Let's go, bring solutions, bring stability, bring action. Stop bringing more problems to the table. Bring answers. Let me be real with you. Trust is the foundation of leadership. Without trust, it doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how loud you can get. If people can't trust you, they will not follow you. Listen to me. Trust is not built with words. Trust is built with consistency. See, we've got too many people who can talk a good game but can't walk it out. We've got people who make promises on Monday and break them by Friday. We've got people who show up one day with all the energy in the world, and the next day they disappear like they never existed. You can't lead like that. Not in 2025. Not in this season. People are done with hype. People are done with talkers. People are looking for someone who can show up and show out day after day after day. Let me tell you something. Real leadership doesn't come from one powerful moment. Real leadership comes from 1,000 quiet moments when you chose to be reliable, when you chose to show up, when you chose to be faithful when nobody was watching. It's easy to be great when the cameras are rolling. It's easy to be great when people are clapping. It's easy to be great when you feel good. But leadership is proven when you don't feel like it. Leadership is proven when you've got every excuse to quit, but you keep grinding. Leadership is proven when it's hard, when it's quiet, when it's lonely, and you still get it done. You've got to make a decision right now. I will be consistent. I will be the same person on Monday that I am on Saturday. I will be the same person in the spotlight that I am in the shadows. I will be the same person when I'm winning that I am when I'm losing, because people don't follow titles. People follow trust, and trust is built through consistency. Stop trying to impress people with one big moment. Stop trying to go viral. Stop trying to do it for attention. Build slow, build steady, build deep. Because here's the thing, consistency compounds. Every time you show up, every time you keep your word, every time you push through, you are stacking bricks. You are building something that will not collapse under pressure. And when you're consistent, guess what? People start to believe you. People start to lean on you. People start to trust that you're not going to fold when it gets hard. They trust that your yes means yes and your no means no. They trust that you are who you say you are. And that's what leadership is all about, being trustworthy. But let's keep it 100. Consistency is not easy. There are going to be days you feel like skipping. There are going to be days you feel like slacking. There are going to be days you wonder if all the hard work even matters. But those are the days that define you. Those are the days when you separate yourself from the crowd. Those are the days when leaders are born. So here's your challenge. Be consistent when you don't feel like it. Be consistent when you're tired. Be consistent when it's boring. Be consistent when nobody's cheering for you. Because consistency builds trust, and trust builds legacy. And don't miss this. People aren't watching your highlight reel. They're watching your everyday grind. They're watching if you're faithful with the small things. They're watching if you can keep showing up with the same energy, the same focus, the same passion, even when nobody's paying attention. That's how you build trust. That's how you become the leader people count on. That's how you build a name that lasts. Let's go, show up, stay consistent, be reliable, build trust. Because in 2025, leadership won't belong to the loudest. It will belong to the most consistent. Let's get this straight. You can't lead in 2025 with a 2020 mindset. You can't lead with yesterday's tools. You can't lead with last year's hunger. Listen to me. If you stop growing, you stop leading. Period. The world is changing fast. Technology's changing. Markets are changing. People are changing. Problems are changing. The leaders who dominate in this season are the ones who stay adaptable and hungry. They don't get stuck in how we've always done it. They don't get comfortable with what worked last year. They don't hold on to old mindsets just because they feel safe. You've got to be willing to pivot. You've got to be willing to evolve. You've got to be willing to let go of strategies that used to work so you can step into what's next. If you're married to your old ways, you're going to miss new opportunities. The most dangerous thing you can do as a leader is get comfortable. The moment you start thinking, I've made it, the moment you start thinking, I've arrived, you've already started falling. Because comfort is a leadership killer. Comfort is where hunger goes to die. Comfort is where you lose your edge. You've got to stay hungry for more growth, more learning, more challenge, more impact. Leaders are students first. Leaders read. Leaders ask questions. Leaders surround themselves with people who challenge them, not just people who clap for them. Leaders stay open to feedback. Leaders are willing to be uncomfortable to keep getting better. I see too many people get a little success and they park there. They stop grinding. They stop learning. They stop innovating. They start thinking, I've got this figured out. No, you don't. The moment you stop adapting, the game will pass you by. The moment you stop learning, someone else who stayed hungry will pass you. You can't lead with outdated strategies. You can't lead with yesterday's hustle. The best leaders in 2025 are not going to be the smartest. They're going to be the most adaptable. They're going to be the ones who can adjust when the world shifts. They're going to be the ones who can change directions without losing their focus. They're going to be the ones who can reinvent themselves over and over again without losing their fire. Adaptability means you're flexible, not fragile. It means you can bend without breaking. It means you can move without losing your mission. It means you're not stuck in your ego. It means you can say, this isn't working. Let's fix it. Let's change it. Let's grow it. And hunger, that's your fuel. Hunger is what gets you up when you're tired. Hunger is what pushes you to learn a new skill when you've already mastered the last one. Hunger is what drives you to keep reaching even when you've already hit big goals. Hunger is what keeps you humble enough to know there's always another level, and don't get it twisted. Hunger isn't about greed. Hunger isn't about chasing money or clout. Hunger is about chasing greatness. Hunger is about chasing growth. Hunger is about becoming everything you were designed to be. Real leaders don't settle. Real leaders don't plateau. Real leaders stay hungry. So I need you to check yourself right now. Are you coasting? Are you comfortable? Are you clinging to old ways? Are you stuck in what used to work? Or are you still chasing, still learning, still hungry? Are you still ready to pivot? Are you still willing to stretch? Are you still willing to outwork everybody in the room? Because in 2025, adaptability will keep you relevant. Hunger will keep you rising. Don't get locked into old routines. Don't get trapped in old thinking. Stay loose, stay teachable, stay flexible, stay ready. Leaders who last are leaders who learn. Leaders who grow are leaders who grind. Leaders who evolve are leaders who win. Let's go. Stay adaptable. Stay hungry, keep moving, keep learning, keep leading. Let's wrap this up. Leadership in 2025 is not a title. It's not a position. It's not something you get handed. It's something you earn every single day. You've got to make a decision right now. I will lead myself first. I will communicate with power. I will control my emotions. I will solve problems. I will build trust. I will stay adaptable and hungry. This is not just about getting people to follow you. This is about becoming the type of person who is worth following. Stop waiting for somebody to put a crown on your head. Stop waiting for somebody to give you permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Your moment is right now. Your opportunity is today. Your leadership is being built in the grind you're doing when nobody's watching. In 2025, leaders are going to be rare. Real ones, solid ones, consistent ones, problem solvers, trust builders, people who are always learning, people who stay hungry, people who don't fold when it's hard. Will that be you? The world doesn't need another title chaser. The world doesn't need another hype man. The world needs somebody who shows up and gets the job done. Somebody who's real. Somebody who's consistent. Somebody who can lead through storms, through setbacks, through uncertainty. That's the leader you're becoming. That's the leader you're called to be. So step up, lock in, lead with discipline, lead with fire, lead with heart, and never forget. You don't have to wait to be chosen. You can choose yourself today. Let's go. It's your time to lead.